The giant was sleeping, so this man carefully opened the giant's helmet. Jack then stretched a huge beehive over. The giant didn't notice. The two placed the beehive and closed the helmet, then ran away immediately. They hid behind a rock to observe, but the giant had no reaction at all. Just as they were puzzled, the giant suddenly woke up. He stood up and slapped his head desperately. Then he stepped into a puddle and fell heavily. The giant took off his helmet. He waved his hand to disperse the bees, but a mischievous bee attacked him. The giant fell off the cliff. Seeing the plan succeed, the three laughed heartily. The giant fell faster and faster. Several priests were praying. They happened to look up and see this amazing scene. Then the giant crashed to the ground. The king heard the noise. He quickly came out to check. The people also gathered around. Seeing the giant appear again, the king finally believed the legend. To prevent the giant army from invading, they had to break this towering vine to cut off the giant's passage to the human world. So the king walked under the giant vine. He swung his sword with force. Then the soldiers began to chop the vine day and night. As a result of their efforts, the root of the vine finally broke. Without the support, the huge vine was on the verge of collapse. When the giant army arrived at the cliff, the leader found that the vine to the human world had been destroyed. He roared in anger, lost the only passage. The giants were about to leave, but the leader's little head suddenly found a bag on the ground. Inside were the seeds of the vine. So the giant leader blew 5 seeds into the river in one breath. The next second, 5 huge vines rose from ground on the edge of the cliff. With a trumpet, the giants launched a charge. They jumped onto the vines one after another, heading towards the human world. Just 1 minute later, the giants had already jumped into the human world. Led by the leader, the giant army launched an attack on humanity. In the end, the giants smashed the city gates. The giants poured into the castle. They stepped forward, the humans. At this critical moment, Jack suddenly appeared. He put on the giant's magic crown. The next second, the giants dropped their weapons. They knelt on the ground one after another. Just like that, mankind was saved. So comes the question, do you think there are really giants in the sky?